Namaskaram. I pay my solemn obeisance to all the viewers and listeners. Dear viewers, today we are going to discuss on chapter 20th of Old Testament, the book Genesis of Bible. This chapter contains 18th verses. So this chapter has 18th verses. So in these 18 verses, it is mentioned about Abraham, his wife Sarah, and a king, Gerar's king, called Abimelech. The incident is very simple. When Abraham entered into Gerar, he told his wife that she should introduce him as her brother, and he also said that I would also call you my sister, because this land is a non-believer land. They do not fear God, so they could take you away from me, and because of you they could slay me. So if we would speak a lie, then we could save our life. So he restored to that lie, but he is articulate enough to say that when Abimelech asked him, when Abimelech had a dream, in that dream, Lord God said that you have taken his prophet Abraham's wife, so you will be cursed if you would not restore her to him. So Abimelech asked Abraham, why you have done so? So Abraham told him, in 11th and 12th verse, it is written that she is really my sister, in the sense that she is the child of my father, but she is not the child of my mother. In that sense, she is my sister and she is my wife also. But the last factor had been hidden because I was fearing that I could be slayed down. So it is better now that you people should start fearing God. And God had also instructed Abimelech in the dream that if he would act in the way Abraham wanted, then he would pray for you and I would listen his prayer. So Abimelech restored Sarah to Abraham, and he had also given some pieces of silver and oxen, sheep, male and female servants. And also told Abraham that you can live in my land without any fear. You could go anywhere as you please. And Abraham prayed for him, and God gave children to Abimelech, and God cured many diseases which Abimelech and his servants and his families were suffering from. So God cured of from all those diseases. Now the question is, anyone with an eye of wisdom could see that Abimelech was fearful of the dream that he had. And this type of dreaming generally happen when there is a guilty consciousness and there is a suspicion and there is a popular feeling, popular, you can say rumor also, that someone is bearing a special quality, someone is very spiritual or a religious or an innocent person, and you have taken anything without his consent, you have taken anything forcibly, and that guilty consciousness could bring a dream of that nature which Abimelech had. And the second thing is sometimes there are many diseases which is cured in course of time or could be cured of because you have lost that guilty feeling. If you have a bad habit and bad consciousness regarding innocent persons, then you develop those types of diseases. It is true. Because you are in opposition to justice, and natural justice is a factual thing. If you ignore natural justice, then you could definitely suffer from many diseases. And from the day you started behaving in a justifiable manner, and especially for king who used to be also a judge in those olden days, king used to be judge also. Whatever he used to give order, that is taken as order, that is taken as the justice. But that could be naturally a justice, or that is just a justice in the eye of that king only, is a matter of fact. So when he behaved in a really natural way, he behaved in a well-mannered way, then that means the burden which his head were carrying, that burden is off, and that releases the bad chemicals, that toxins in the mind. So once those toxins came out of the body, the disease automatically get cured, which in those days, even today, many people used to think that it is from out of the world or out of the scientific law. But that is not out of the scientific law. It is very much scientific. Many of our diseases are psychological and could be explained by science also. So the cure of those diseases could be explained scientifically, but here it is presented in a sense of blind faith, or in the sense of unknown God, unknown element, which is called God. During those days, people used to fear. In whole Bible, you would, and also in Quran, you would always get this tagline that you should fear God, you should fear God. And that tagline become that tagline becomes a sort of hook for getting of the crime. people, those people who do not have that degree of ordinary sense, I would say, which you can say justice sense. Those who do not have that degree of justice sense, they started behaving because of the fear of the God in a justifiable manner. This is what happened here, which is presented in this chapter. And one thing more, that is called that woman whose womb was closed up by the Lord because Abimelech had kept Sarah. This is a clear cut of blind faith and fear, that if you keep a woman of an innocent man or religious man, your woman would not bear children. That is not a real fact. That is just over fearing. So this chapter says that if you believe even in the dream about the God, then that would come true. It is also explained here that if you would believe in the dream of the God, that means God exists. Here, the existence of God depends upon the dream. This is not a scientific fact. This is just a blind faith. You could dream anything, but that does not mean that whatever you dream, that would exist. You could not explain factually the thing you have dreamt of. So, I would better say that for a people who have rational mind, they would judge this in that sense, and by curing any disease, you could not say that there is a God behind that. Curing disease could be explained scientifically, and bearing children also could be explained scientifically. Those who do not believe in God, they also bear children. So it is very unscientific to say that because of keeping wife of some person, the women, all women of that person would stop bearing children. If it would happen continuously, then it would have been considered as a fact. Would have considered that it is a fact that, oh, if you would keep anyone's wife, then your wife and all related women to you would not bear children. Then definitely it would be considered, it would have been considered as a proof, as an evidence of having a curse of God in this sense. But this does not happen always. Or whether it is only a case of a Brahm, special, a Brahm case. Why there is speciality? In this nature, we always see that there is a law, and that law or that phenomenon is general. And since a person is claiming himself as a prophet or as a spokesperson of the God, we could not say that there could be a law for him, a different law for him and different law for another person. This is just another myth also. So this is all about this chapter, and I hope you would think this chapter in a rational way. Om.